afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of A Walk Down Chemory Lane with me, your host, Nick Soff. Now, this afternoon, I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Jake Willacy. How's lockdown treating you, Jake? How are you?
Good afternoon, Nick. Yeah, I'm doing all right, thank you. You know, lockdown's becoming a normality, isn't it? We've been in it for that long, and I've been in it for even longer. I mean, before the government announced lockdown, I actually broke my ankle playing football, so I've been doing, 6 or 7 weeks before that, housebound. So I've just kind of got used to it. It was a little bit tedious at the beginning, but now it's just a norm, isn't it? It's given me a chance to spend more time with the family that I wouldn't have got. Playing with the girls, going for walks with them, spending time at home, which is really nice, not having to go to work. And to be honest, I don't think I'd actually know what would hit me if I had to get up and go to work in the morning. It's not the best situation to be in, and obviously missing doing things I would normally do on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, making the best of it and spending time with the loved ones.
Now, it's very easy to forget that you're still only a very young man, because you've been around the first team and the club for a number of years. What is it that got you into cricket, and what is it that keeps you playing, eh?
Yeah, I've had cricket in my life since, being tiny. I started playing properly at under nines. Obviously, before that, I was playing at home with my two uncles, Ben and Andy, and my granddad. And when they weren't there, I was chucking the ball against the wall, practicing catching, hitting the ball against the wall, anything literally that I could do to get out and play cricket. That's all I wanted to do, cricket and football. I still remember my first game for the under nines at Fenny. Granddad got a phone call. They used to play it. Well, they still do. They play at 6 o'clock. I think this phone call came 4:30. They'd had a dropout and they needed a player. And would I like to play, even though I wasn't of that age group? Would I like to go? It was kind of making the numbers up. But I was buzzing. Got to go out and get my first cricket bat. Proper cricket bat, because the bats that I've been playing with before were only the ones out of the sets and things like that. So got to go out, go to practice, get my first cricket bat. And yeah, absolutely loved it. And from then on, I think I've played pretty much every week of the summer. Last season, started the season loving it, but didn't do very well on a personal note. I was going down. I just wasn't enjoying it, and I was just thinking to myself, why am I doing this? I'm coming down. I'm not enjoying myself, so I stopped playing. Kind of said, no, this isn't for me this season. Stopped playing, and then it got to winter. I'm like, I've really missed it. So summer coming around, really looking forward to getting back playing again. And then obviously the circumstances that we're in have stopped us playing. So that was a bit upsetting, but it'll be there again next season. I'm glad that I did take the time out last season and not played, because it's kind of giving me the fire to play again, and looking forward to doing it, which I wasn't doing last season.
Fantastic. Now, in your time at Cherry, you played both junior and senior cricket. In fact, I think you played for every single senior team. But throughout the years, are there any games that have particularly stuck out for you, and could you share a little detail with us, eh?
Yeah, there's loads of games that I could pick from. Going back to 2014 when Ruan was pro, I can remember one game standing out in particular. This isn't what I'm going to talk about, but I'm just going to give it a quick mention. It was in the cup, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, it was either the quarter-final or semi-final of the cup at Edenfield, and it was an absolutely awful day. It was raining, it was dark, it was dull, and there wasn't actually that much cricket played. I think we batted first, and we managed to get our innings in, and then we went off for rain. It was just getting darker and darker. It didn't look like we were going to get back out, but I think we managed to, and again I might be mistaken, but I think we managed to extend the time a little bit. We were allowed to extend it. We managed to get back out on the pitch and complete the game, but it was very, very dark. And I remember, I think I was fielding it long off, and Ruan was bowling, and I've never seen him bowl quicker. It was pitch black, and I was so glad that I wasn't facing him that day, because how those batters managed to see that ball, I do not know. We managed to win the game from a special bowling performance from Ruan that day. But the game I'm going to focus on, it's a little bit more recent. It was the game against Feniscowles in 2018, and to be honest, I'm picking this one because I did quite well in this game. I got my personal best score. On a personal note, it was a very, very good game. I managed to get 155 not out, which is my best score for anybody, let alone the first team. So we were put into bat. I think Fenny won the toss. We were put into bat. Let's get the score up here so that I know the correct ones. We were put into bat and we managed to score 311 for 4. I just contributed with 16. Stefan with a very good quick fire 65. Louis 20. Nas 20. But like I said, on a personal note, I managed to get 155. Now, as many people who are involved at charity will know, my family do not miss many games, but they were actually away for this one, and I remember coming off and someone saying that they've been messaging my granddad because usually at every game, and as soon as I come into bat, he's got a ritual where he has to walk around the pitch. As soon as I come into bat, he has to walk around the pitch and he won't stop walking until I get out. And on a few occasions, he's not even made a full lap. But if he'd have been there that day, he'd have probably had sore legs because I ended up opening the batting and batting all the way through, which, like I said, on a personal note, was a pleasure to do. It was just a shame that they weren't there to see. Obviously, moving on to the Feniscowles innings. They got 149 and we managed to bowl them all out in 38 overs. And again, there was a special performance from our pro that day, Stefan. He managed to get himself a 6 for 44 from 11 overs. Absolutely unbelievable spell. I can remember being stood at slips for that one, and some of his deliveries, I mean, he got 6 wickets, but he could have had 10. There was that many balls, and I actually think they were too good to get people out. They were too good. Keelan and Danny, again, they were unplayable on that day as well. Keelan picked up 3 wickets, Danny picked up a wicket, and for once it was actually quite nice to see, not wishing bad on anybody, it was quite nice to see Adders got a nod for that game, because he does quite like to come on when the opening bowlers and the pro have done all the hard work, softening the players up, taking the difficult wickets, and he does have a tendency to come on at the end and managed to pick himself up a 5 for somehow, I don't know, but that day he didn't manage to get any wickets, which was quite funny to see. So yeah, it was a good day. Really good to get such a convincing victory, especially against someone so close and one of our rivals, Fenny in the league. That's probably it. The best game from a personal note that I can think of. Like I said, there's been plenty of others from others, but I had to pick one for myself today.
Wow, that sounds like an absolute belting game and quite a knock, but I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this week. So my thanks to you, Jake, for sharing that with us. Thanks, Jake.
Cheers, Nick. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and hopefully we can all get back to a little bit of cricket normality. We can get back out in the nets and get back playing again in the near future.
So it's so long from him and it's TTFN from me. Join me again next week when I'll be joined by another Cherry regular for a walk down Chemory Lane. But until then, I'll catch you on the slip side.